the top stories, Health Ministry issues advisory on hand, foot, and mouth disease outbreak. Food and Agriculture Organization helping to boost hot pepper production in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And U.S. House passes immigrant detention bill. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, the Ministry of Health has announced the closure of several early childhood facilities due to an outbreak of hand, foot, and mouth disease, or HFMD. According to a statement issued earlier today, the Education and Health Ministries are coordinating to ensure thorough cleaning and sanitization of the affected institutions. Hand, foot, and mouth disease is a contagious viral illness that primarily affects infants and young children. The ministry has urged parents, guardians, and child care professionals to stay vigilant and recognize the symptoms, which include fever, sore throat, painful sores often in the mouth, rash on the hands, feet, and buttocks, loss of appetite, irritability, especially in infants and toddlers. To curb the spread of HFMD, the ministry advises the public to adopt strict hygiene practices. Regular cleaning and the use of bleach-based disinfectants for surfaces and shared items such as toys and furniture are strongly recommended. Parents are also encouraged to keep children displaying HFMD symptoms at home and consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist or worsen. The ministry emphasizes the importance of frequent hand washing with soap and water, particularly after diaper changes and before meals. Avoiding close contact, such as hugging, kissing, or sharing eating utensils with infected individuals. Regular disinfection of commonly touched surfaces, including doorknobs, countertops, and electronic devices. The Ministry of Health said in its statement that steps are being taken to limit the spread and impact of this outbreak. All citizens and residents are reminded to stay vigilant, prioritize hygiene, and report any suspected cases of HFMD to local health authorities. Through collective effort, the further spread of HFMD can be prevented, ensuring the safety of our communities. Commissioner of Police James Sutton has described 2024 as a successful year for law enforcement in St. Kitts and Nevis. He made the revelation while outlining some of the police's successes during an episode of In Focus, which aired on January 22nd.
One, we made a number of significant arrests in some major crime, serious crime, to curb and prevent the furtherance of these offenses. Two, we strengthen our community policing initiative by going out in the community and interacting and engaging members of our community to rebuild the trust and confidence in the police, because it is important for the police to work in partnership with our community. We also want to thank the government as well to enable us to facilitate this process by adding a number or providing a number of vehicles to assist in our mobility, and also to have some amendment with regards to our legislation. For example, the judge-only trial. That is a significant step by the government in regards to crime and security. So far, we have had one conviction with regard to that piece of legislation. We also want to thank the government for making the amendment with regard to the witness interference legislation. One, we made
several events held in 2024 were incident-free, according to Commissioner Sutton, who attributed this to measures implemented by the police force.
We look at the hosting of a number of events during 2024, and all of these events were done incident-free, based on the fact that we placed a number of security measures in place. The police cannot work by ourselves, and we need the support of the community to work with us as we enter 2025. So I would say that 2024 was a productive year for the police.
The top cop made mention of the challenges the force faced in 2024 and gave his commitment to addressing them in 2025.
One of the challenges we would have encountered with the juvenile offenders, there is no proper place to house these persons, and they continue to offend the law in a number of ways. That is something that we will have to work on going into 2025 to ensure that the Harris's Home or Harris's Rehabilitation Center is up and running. 2, we are seeing a number of mentally challenged persons moving around the city who are committing a number of offenses and are somewhat need to be brought into the frame under some control. Many of the times when we do take these persons into custody, there is no place to house these persons. And that is something that we will have to address along with the government. So there are a number of things that we are working on, including for the safety and security of all our citizens and residents.
Also speaking on Wednesday's edition of In Focus was Deputy Commissioner of Police Cromwell Henry and Travis Rogers, Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for operations. On January 21st, 2025, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs, welcomed His Excellency Gustavo Felipe Jose Lemke Hoyle, Ambassador of Peru, in a significant step towards strengthening diplomatic relations. During the meeting, Ambassador Hoyle highlighted Peru's commitment to fostering political and economic dialogue with St. Kitts and Nevis through technical agreements and strategic programming. He also emphasized Peru's multilateral efforts aimed at enhancing cooperation with the Caribbean Community or CARICOM, particularly in areas like natural disaster risk management and food security. Minister Douglas expressed gratitude for Peru's active engagement in the region and identified education, diplomatic training, and cultural heritage as key areas for future collaboration. Both leaders emphasized the potential for deeper dialogue and mutual growth between the two nations. This meeting has laid the groundwork for a stronger partnership between St. Kitts and Nevis and Peru, with promising prospects for regional and bilateral development. We move now to news on the regional scene. The Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, and St. Vincent's Ministry of Agriculture are teaming up to improve the hot pepper value chain, aiming to boost production, market access, and farmer incomes. From January 28th to 30th, 2025, 60 farmers and 20 extension officers will attend training sessions on agricultural practices, climate impacts, and market opportunities. FAO specialists will also visit farms and research centers to assess needs, with the week ending in a review of the hot pepper value chain upgrading strategy and cost analysis. FAO Trade Officer Juan Peleas highlighted the initiative's potential to boost economic growth by strengthening value chains, attracting investment, and increasing incomes. This activity is part of FAO's Technical Cooperation Program in the Windward Islands, concluding this year. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned that gangs in Haiti could soon seize control of Port-au-Prince, threatening the collapse of governmental authority unless urgent international support for the national police is provided. Currently led by Kenya, the multinational force in Haiti numbers over 600 officers, far below the target of 2,500. Gutierrez stressed that delays in bolstering the force could lead to the failure of national security institutions. Gang violence has escalated since President Jovenel Moise's assassination in 2021, causing over 5,600 deaths and displacing more than 1 million people. Haiti's government has called for a UN peacekeeping mission to replace the current force, with Gutierrez warning that the situation threatens the country's democratic institutions. Internationally, The House of Representatives passed the Laken-Riley Act on Wednesday, a bill requiring the detention of unauthorized immigrants accused of crimes like theft and assault. Named after a Georgia nursing student killed by a Venezuelan migrant, the bill passed 263 to 156, with 46 Democrats joining Republicans. Senator Katie Britt called it the most significant immigration enforcement bill in nearly 3 decades, while critics, including Senator Chris Murphy, argued it prioritizes minor offenders and imposes unfunded mandates. The bill highlights the partisan divide on immigration policy, with Republicans backing Trump's push for stricter enforcement, while Democrats warn of potential due process violations. The Department of Homeland Security estimates the bill's first-year costs at $26.9 billion. The Hughes fire burning near Castaic Lake north of Los Angeles has scorched nearly 16 square miles and prompted the evacuation of over 31,000 residents, with 23,000 more under warning. By nightfall, the fire was 14% contained, aided by favorable winds and aerial retardant drops. Interstate 5, initially closed due to smoke, reopened as crews worked to protect the highway. The fire adds to the devastation from ongoing fires in the region, which have killed 28 people and destroyed over 14,000 structures. Officials warned of toxic ash and mudslide risks, with rain expected later this week. Investigations and lawsuits against Southern California Edison for potential equipment failures continue. And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. Winds are a gentle breeze of 9 miles per hour from a northeasterly direction. The temperature for today is 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.5 to 2.8 meters or 5 to 9 feet, with northeasterly swells of 1.8 meters or 6 feet. Small craft and high surf advisories remain in effect. The weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy skies with a 60% or moderate chance of passing showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy skies with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:01 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:44 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.